So welcome to my next video. This race is at Donnington GP circuit, so the full circuit with the ClubSports series with the BRSCC. Far too much wheel spin at the beginning, which was really frustrating, so dropped about 3 places there. Riled me up, so I thought, right, I'm going in strong in this corner. So carried on when I was braking, slipped through that gap, hold it round the outside, and set about chasing these cars in front. So I clawed back one, and there, just taking the BMW the inside. So took back 2 of those places that I lost on the start. Difficult bit of the circuit. You see some cars going off, lots of action, loads of cars all out of place, and obviously you've got to be aware of the cars around you, being defensive but also trying to overtake. Something happened with this MX-5, got a bit of a wobble, took advantage of that, steamed past him. It's a good bit for my car here. I get some really good drive coming up the hill. Yeah, what I'm focusing on now, you've got to think about 2 things: is catching the X5 in front, and also looking in your mirrors for the BMW, because any like little slip up, run wide or anything like that, and he's in and could be making a move if he gets any closer. So here you go, coming onto the GP. Normally last race we went right, now we go left with the GP, so you have this extra chicane and then drop down, and this braking zone here is quite tough because it's dropped down, so obviously harder to stop the car, throw it in, a bit defensive there for the BMW, and then power out. Think about making a move. He goes a bit defensive MX-5, so we think actually let's go around the outside. Got a bit of understeer, so I couldn't pull it in quick enough, so didn't make up enough space. But then I've got really good exit out of the corner, and there we go, down the straight, take that MF5. Think about doing the other one, but it's a bit too far. Best to tuck in, take the corner, and look for the next opportunity. The MX-5 has got really good pace through those corners, getting a bit close. Had to go a little bit defensive just to let him know that he can't throw it up the inside of me there. But here we go, I start to pull away, able to create a little bit of a gap. Yeah, an MX-5's had it off there, and it's in a bit of a precarious situation, so the safety car is likely to come out, which in fact it does. Yeah, so in terms of this class, it's similar to the different to the last race video I did. These classes are based on brake horsepower per tonne, so essentially you're in a class with similar powered cars, and it's irrelevant the engine size that they have. It's just all about that power to weight ratio. So I'm racing against MX-5s, Renault Clios, BMW Z4s, BMW 3 Series. You get a real mix, all with different size engines and individual powers and weights, etc. So you can see I'm pulling a little bit of gap on the BMW behind me, starting to lose him. See if I can reel in this MX-5. go, that's the safety car. See the lights come on. We obviously couldn't retrieve that car quickly enough out of the gravel. So we'll now just start the procession. And we'll skip forward because it's just boring watching that. It was about 3 or 4 laps. So now we're ready to start again. The pack has bunched up. I'm obviously right behind the MX-5, and here's obviously the trick. The green light's gone. The trick is can't overtake before you go over the start-finish line. Be as quick, as close as possible. So I go a bit wide so I can flip it in tighter. Then actually managed to do in the end. B-Duck's right in the pits anyway, so didn't have him to try and overtake over the straights. So let's see if we can actually. You've got this the Nissan 350ZX, I think, in front. Very quick car. It's actually Class A, so that's the fastest brake horsepower bracket. I'm Class C, so it's a much faster car in theory, but we'll see if we can track him down. So with the safety cars, it's brought the cars closer together, so some real close racing going on again now. I kind of want to get in that group and have some fun with those guys. See if I can catch them. But one of them overcooked it. That's it, Leon spun. Another one going up from there. Got a lot of gravel on my windscreen, which caused lots of cracks and smashes, so I need a new windscreen for the next race. But I managed to obviously catch them up. Think about it, let's go and tight this corner just to show this blue MX-5 that I'm around. See if I can put him off a little bit. I get quite close and then see if I can get a good run on him going down the main straight. We'll try the old wide trick again, wide and then cut in. There we go, get that run. There we go, get the good drive out the corner. Down the left onto the racing line, nice and quick. Thought about it, making that, trying to push it, but it is tight round here and you just don't want to lose it, especially after so quickly after the safety car restart when the tyres are still heating up again. Now, I hit the limiter there with the car. If you saw my previous video, you saw that the car was overheating around this track and I had to change up early. It seems to be happening again, even though we fitted a larger radiator cooler. So, yeah, we still need to do a bit of investigation on that to stop that. But again, had to start changing up at certain points through the race, which is a little bit frustrating. Really late on the brakes, saw a gap, went for it. Quite pleased with that overtake. To say that was a Class A car, so it was. I was quite pleased with that one. Although bear in mind, he did have the orange square with a black cross on the back, and that means they're a novice driver. So it's one of their first 6 races, and I've only been doing this 2 years. I remember my first year when I had those. It was, I certainly was very timid. Didn't know, couldn't extract the full pace out of the car because you just get to know circuits and driving. So, it takes you a while to get up to speed. And to be honest, I still wouldn't say I'm there yet. But still learning. I've got quite a good run on him here. See if down straight I can make a move. Now he goes pretty defensive. It's going to make it quite hard to make the move here. He's obviously still in the inside. It's better to back out of it, let him go through. You can't really get two round that chicane. Just doesn't work, as we saw with the other cars going off. So he's gone defensive again, so I thought nice and wide, get lots of pace through the corner and hopefully a good exit. Then he's gone defensive, so I'll go nice and wide and then cut in. There we go, nice and tight in the apex. That's actually what I wanted to do. But he ducks straight to the pits, so I don't get the move done down the straight, which I think I would have done because I had the pace there. But he ducks into the pits, does his pit stop. And I've got some free air, clear air to try and punch some fast times in. Because I had that clean air, I was able to try and set qualifying pace laps, and actually I was quicker. So in qualifying, I was doing a 1:55. I was able to do a 1:52.5 at this point in the race, which is obviously significantly quicker. Admittedly, I didn't get many clean runs in qualifying, but it's certainly much quicker anyway. So gear change wasn't very slick there, so caught right up. So I tried to go a bit defensive, held the inside line, and he had to concede as I went through on the inside. Yeah, my mistake there. I didn't do a clean gear change. The car was now getting a little bit slidey, and I was making a mistake with the gear change. I thought a good time to come into the pits. So I think I come in at the end of this lap. So for the pit stops, remember the last race, the series pit stops, was you come in, get out of the car, get back in again and go as quickly as you can. For this series, it's a 2-minute pit stop from entrance to exit a pit lane. Which is actually much better. It gives you time for you to cool down the car to cool down, tyres and brakes, help with the limiter. You can have a chat to your mechanic, just check sometimes check tyre pressures, have a drink if you can. But yeah, so we get that pit stop done, and there you can see the reason for it. We've got a car stopped on track, so I come out and we're actually under safety car conditions. So when I went into the pits, I was actually P9, and P9 and going for it. This is now coming out of the safety car. The car on the left was a back marker, didn't kind of get out of the way and went into my line. So this MX-5 zoomed past, so we're back racing again after those safety car laps, which I've obviously cut out the video. So I'm pretty frustrated now that he zoomed past because I was kind of my route past the other car was blocked. But that's racing, so now we've got to try and catch him and overtake him again and get that place back. It's quite interesting different styles here, because obviously an MX-5 is rear wheel drive but very light as well. Don't have a lot of power, but they're light and have that rear wheel drive kind of dynamic. My car, obviously a Peugeot, is front wheel drive, it's 207 GTI, so I will understeer more than he will, but I've got a little bit more power, but also more than likely quite a bit heavier than him as well. So completely different styles in the way that the cars will kind of handle. See, I kind of run wider on some corners as I put the power down, obviously because of that understeer from a front wheel drive car. So we're seeing if we can stay close, see if there's a time we can make a move, and you can see it started to get a bit dark. The race started at 6 o'clock in the evening, and we're now probably about 6:40, 6:45, starting to get a little bit dark. Back marker up ahead, so we've both got to get past that car without losing much time. MX-5 makes it through pretty quickly. And I think I don't want to get stuck before this corner, so I duck in the inside, but it does mean I come out the corner very slow. I have to drop a gear, so I do lose a bit of time on the MX-5. So this is for position. I think I'm 11th on track at the moment after all the shenanigans of the pit stops, etc., and safety cars. So this is for position, trying to get that P10. This MX-5 is a back marker, and one of those new novice drivers. You can see the black cross on the back of the car. being lapped here. Similar class, but need to try and get past him as quickly as I can, which is pretty painless, thankfully. Starting to get a bit closer to that MX-5, but still need a good lap or two to get right up to him. Try that old trick where I go a little bit wide and cut in, although it understeers hard, unfortunately, because it's a difficult corner now because the camber goes the opposite way, meaning it dips down towards the outside of the corner. Here we go, I still get a good run. He moves over, slip down the inside. He's still quick, so I've got to try and see if I can get away, otherwise he will have a go at overtaking me again. And this limiter, obviously, through the crane of curves isn't helping. You see, he catches right back up. Car that's actually behind me was the overall winner, although they were invitational class, meaning that actually they're a faster car than all the other classes in there. And he steves out me inside, even though he was miles ahead of everyone winning the race, like threw me off a bit off the track, and obviously the MX-5 jumped right up behind me, so he kind of compromised me through those corners. It's a little bit frustrating, but there you go. And he's got a really bright fog light, race light. It's quite blinding when you're behind him. So now I know obviously he's the leader, the flag's been out and he's still going quick, so this is more than likely the last lap. So I've got to keep this MX-5 behind me. Now he's right up my bumper. Went too deep there, trying to be defensive, and I didn't catch the chicane right at the curves of it. So yeah, so I went too deep into that corner without braking myself. Really, it was quite frustrating, but I still managed to hold him off just. The checker flag is waving this time, so we finished 10th, 4th in class, but 10th when we started, 19th. Really pleased with that. Lots of overtakes, and it was a lot of fun.